Today we're talking about Renderforest, which is a platform that does so many things. I almost feel a little overwhelmed. You can create a logo, you can create videos, you can even build a website or even mock up product packaging on Renderforest. But what's different about Renderforest is that it claims to use the power of artificial intelligence to create all of these things for you. So you don't have to have any know-how on how to create a logo or a video, but you just need to have an idea. So I'm going to try to use this platform from the perspective of someone who's not like a creative professional, who doesn't know how to do all this technical stuff, but wants to make these assets for themselves, their company, or even for a client, using this artificial intelligence, machine learning, whatever you want to call it. Now, I paid for this Renderforest subscription myself. I'm on the monthly plan. That's like $30 a month. I think they call it amateur, but it does give you access to a lot of different stock videos, music tracks, and a lot of graphics and stuff. So that's the version of Renderforest I'm using today. And in this video, I am going to be doing both some video creation, a logo animation, and I'm going to try to design a logo. So I'll make chapters for all these sections down below in the description box, and at the end, I'll give you my final thoughts like I always do. All right, here we are, you guys, on the Renderforest homepage. Renderforest isn't an app that you download onto your computer. It's actually a website that you log into and start creating things. Let's do create video first. So it says here there's video templates for all your needs. I'm first going to jump to the 3D Explainer video toolkit. So this is the style of video that I'm going to be creating. And here's some information about how you use that toolkit, but let's jump to create now. All right, so there's 3 different ways to create videos on Renderforest. You can do it scene by scene where you're really creating something custom. You can load a preset template from ready-made stories, or you can type in a script and then it'll create a video for you. After that, you can make some modifications to it. Because I'm coming to this review as someone trying to be someone who's not a creative professional and just has an idea but not the know-how, I'm gonna start with that script tool, and let's see the kind of video that Renderforest can generate for us. So I'm going to click type your script here, hit this orange create button, and let's just type in a script. I actually conveniently have a ready-made script so you guys didn't have to sit and watch me type. And the way that this tool works is that every time you add a punctuation, whether it be an exclamation point or a period, it will create a new scene. So once I type in my script, I'm going to hit generate project, and you can see here all the different scenes that I will create. So if I want to actually make more scenes, I would add periods at grammatically incorrect parts of my script to make more scenes if I had let's say a long sentence, but 6 scenes seems pretty good to me. Let's generate this project. Okay, so this is what the artificial intelligence on Renderforest developed for me. I can click scene by scene, hovering my mouse down here at the bottom timeline to see what it has selected for me. It's sort of showing me a quick example of what my first scene is going to look like. So here is the text that I typed into the script field in the last part of the interface that we were using, but it's not really showing me a good preview of what this is going to look like. So in order to do that, I need to hit this snapshot button and wait for it to load. And then this is actually what the scene is going to look like. And in terms of animation, I can't see what the animation is going to be unless I hover my mouse down here. All right, so if I didn't like what the AI on Renderforest selected for me, I can click down here, matching scenes, and it's gonna make some recommendations for me of the other scenes that it thinks could fit with my script. And so there's these 2 characters that are on an iPad. There's this guy holding a trophy. I don't really understand it. So let's say I'm not really satisfied with this animation because I'm talking about digital marketing and this is a whiteboard. Even though I do like the graph, it doesn't really sort of make sense with the context of my script. So I'd say the AI here was a bit of a fail, but we can go in and like change that. So we're not stuck with what they generated or even with the matching scenes that the AI suggests in Renderforest. Let me show you how to just browse from anything that Renderforest offers. What you can do here is click this plus button, and now you've got all of this whole menu with all of the content that you can pull from on Renderforest. And there's a lot, I have to tell you. So there's a lot of detail. You can see there's this really nice 3D animation with these very developed spaces. Or you can search in this search field. So I'm going to search online. All right, let's select this guy because this sort of fits what we're talking about in our script. And we can copy the text from our last scene and type it in here. And then what we can do is delete this scene that we weren't happy with. All right, now I'm just gonna click through my scenes, and I'd say I'm reasonably satisfied with everything else that the Renderforest AI selected for me. So if we want to do some more customization on these scenes, let me show you how to do that. So here we are on the Edit tab at the top of the screen. If we move on over to Style, I can change this view from either a 3D look, which is what you've been seeing, or a flat 2D look. I say let's stick with the 3D look. Now we can go on over to color, and I can change like all the general color palette of my entire video. So if I pick one palette, it applies to my entire video, which is not great for customization if that's important to you, but it is like really easy. Like you just do it once. There's pre-selected color palettes that are actually kind of nice looking, and it'll apply it to your entire video so you don't have to worry about it. It's definitely built for speed here. You can also select custom colors and choose exactly what each thing will be in each scene. And the colors could be any color of the rainbow. Obviously, you can see all these selections you can make. You can make it any color. You can even use a hex code if you know what your hex code is. But let's stick with the color presets, and I'm going to select this color palette. I kind of like these aqua tones. Now, if I want to see what my new scenes will look like with my new color palette, I have to preview it, and I don't even get to see an animation. And I would have to do this scene by scene, or I could do all the scenes and hit generate, but it takes a while. So I might just be satisfied with one scene. Here I can see that my background has become kind of this teal and the font is a lighter blue. So I do like this color palette better than the one that was pre-selected for me by default. The next thing I can do is select music. Now I can either upload my own music or I can select from the music library, and they've sort of broken the music cuts into little categories here. They made recommendations for me. Let's just listen to one. I mean, that's nice. I kind of like that one, is a little more fun. All right, I'm gonna select upbeat claps. And if I wanna add voiceover, I can either upload my own pre-recorded voiceover, whether I had done it myself or I'd had a professional do it, or I can use my computer's microphone to record a voiceover right into my project, which is kind of cool. But what's missing from Renderforest is it doesn't have that automatically generated voiceover that we see in a lot of other platforms, which I'm not really crazy about that feature, but now that it's not here, I do kind of miss it because I would love to show you like how well it matches and what it sounds like, but they don't even offer yet. So I'm going to forego the voiceover on this particular project. All right, so we've selected our scenes, we've selected our color scheme, we've selected our music. The only thing left to do is preview this video. So in order to do that, we're going to hit the preview button here, top right. This process, I have to tell you, does take quite some time on Renderforest. This is not a fast process, so let's just wait.
One eternity later.
Okay, that took a long time to export, but let's see what the finished result is. Okay, the one thing I've noticed is that the music that is on this video is not what I selected, and I'm so confused because I've never even heard this cut of music before, and I actually went back and tried to re-export it with the music I selected, and it's still this strange cut of music that has nothing to do with my content. So that's, I don't know what's going on there. It's just really glitchy. Yeah, that's pretty disappointing. I don't know, you guys. Does anyone else use Renderforest? Has anyone else had this problem? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's just move on from that. Let's create an intro video, a quick intro video with our logo. So let's do like a 3D logo reveal. Here are all of our options. We can preview them by hovering our mouse. Okay, I kind of like this template. Let's try that. In order to create that, we're just gonna hit the Create Now button. And our logo needs to go here. I've already uploaded the Jenn Jager logo, so let's insert that. So I'm just gonna select it from my media library and hit the Insert button here at the bottom right of the screen. I can scale the logo up or down using this slider. But if it's outside of this little tic-tac-toe box, that means it's going to be cropped. So let's shrink it down so it fits. Let's hit done. I don't need a tagline because my logo is my website. And then let's select style just like the other video. And this has no options. I could change the font if I did have a timeline. Here's all the fonts I could have selected from. Music. Let's just pick something and see if we have more luck. Okay. All right, now let's hit that preview button.
2 hours later.
Okay, the high-res version of my logo animation has finally exported. That took so long for this quick little clip. I don't know, crazy. Let's play it. All right, again, I'm noticing the music that I selected is not the music on my exported video. I don't understand why or what I'm doing wrong. Am I crazy? Is there anybody else that's having this problem with Renderforest? Please tell me. Maybe, what am I doing wrong, you guys? So that is definitely weird, but the quality of the animated video, once I exported it, I thought was pretty good. So that's good. As long as you're not in a big rush, not bad. All right, let's try the final part of Renderforest that I wanted to look at today, which is the logo creator. Again, this has like an AI component to it, so let's try it. So right up here, Make Logo is one of our options at the top of the screen. And so what we can do here is just tell the software a little bit about our company. So I'm just gonna say Plum Productions, that's my video production company. And so for the tagline, I'm gonna put in my website. And for the description, I'm supposed to just tell this artificial intelligence what the nature of my brand is. So let's just type something in here. In the next menu here, we can pick the style of the logo. So is it going to be a line drawing? Is it going to be more solid? Is it going to have a watercolor look, a flat look where it's a little bit more, a lot of these look a little more monochromatic. Of course, I'm drawn to the gradient option. That is definitely my style. But then I'm also curious about this I feel lucky where the AI will pick a logo for us. All right, let's just go with this one. And I'm going to hit next. And it's thinking. Okay, and so it's showing me what the logo would look like on all these different items. But these are the logos that it has suggested to me. I have to tell you, I do not care for any of these logos. No, I don't like these. I don't think the AI did a good job at all with my logo. All right, let's go back. What if we like told it what we wanted? Let's pick the gradient like I kind of wanted to. Let's hit next. All right, these are much more in line with what my logo I think could have looked like. I'm actually really surprised that the artificial intelligence didn't give me these options, which like this one here has a slate clapboard, which I don't really care for this design, but at least it's relevant. This one I know it looks like a film reel. It also kind of looks like a Lego to me. It's not really doing much for me. I do kind of like this one or this one. Why don't we select this? And let's hit the edit and download button. Okay, and here's where we can make like a lot of different modifications to our logo. So I can change the font, I can change the color of the font. Let's just select text. You can see all of these font options. All right, I think I like this font, and I can align it so it's centered over the icon. I do like that they have these dynamic guides that show me that I'm perfectly aligned. Let's talk about the color now. Everything is very gray here, but I believe we can customize it. Let's start with the icon. So I've got these two, it's a gradient. I've got these two colors in my icon. Let's make it more of a purple. And then the second color could be a little deeper like that. Let's work on the text color. I do wish this had a color picking feature so I could like pull a color out of my gradient and match my text, but I can't. So we're just gonna have to eyeball it a little bit here. I'm gonna modify my tagline. And let's change the color of that tagline to something that's gonna stand out. I feel like it gets lost with everything else being so purple. And here we can make some adjustments. I can, oh wow, look, I can change the layout so it can be stacked. It can be more horizontal, or then the inverse of each of those between where the text lays and where the icon lays. And then you can change the size of the text or the tagline. You can change the opacity of the icon. I wonder, look, you could even like lay the elements on top of each other and make the icon less opaque. All right, I actually think I'm pretty happy with that logo. That is my final design, and it did have a lot of customizability in it. So what do I think about Renderforest? You saw I had some problems there with the music for sure, but I will say that Renderforest is a great product for someone who doesn't want to spend a lot of time creating this content. They have the idea, but they don't have the know-how or the interest in even learning the know-how on how to create very, very, very custom videos. Maybe you are a teacher and you don't have a lot of time to mess around with these things, but you do want this tool. I think you really would be happy with Renderforest. Also, Renderforest does so many different things that we didn't even look at today. You can like build a website on it. You can design graphics. But for the three things we did look at, The explainer video, I thought the AI on that worked pretty well. The little logo intro we made was exactly as promised. You know, it's kind of like videos where you can just upload your own logo and it does this little magic thing and it inserts it into a template for you. But for me, I think the biggest surprise was this logo maker. I liked how I could choose the style of my logo, but then go in and make a lot of tweaks, even to the way it was laid out. I liked that very much. So I would say Renderforest for the right customer is an okay thumbs up. I'm not super enthusiastic about it, but I'm a person who really likes a lot of control and customization. But if you're not interested in that, I think you'd be pretty happy with Renderforest. So those are my thoughts on Renderforest. Does anyone else use this platform? I know a lot of you have asked me about it, but who else is using it? And are you having the same problems with the music that I was having? Or can you explain to everyone in the comments what I was doing wrong so they don't have the same problem? I would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again.